Hello everybody again, and welcome to the Artist's Corner. This is David Joyner again, your fancy neighborhood illustrator, working on the third section of this monster tutorial. I hope you all enjoy. Let's get started. Turn the pen over so we can see it. Micron 01, this is my favorite all around. Enjoy. Here we go. We're going to go in now and we're going to start with his hair, and we're going to work on a little pushing and pulling, as I like to call it. So I'm going to go ahead and create a position where we've got a line that is defining the closest point to your eye that separates the light from the dark. And in both sections, the light and the dark, you can have multiple colors. That's really up to the artist doing the illustration. This is probably one of the most complex ways in which art can be changed between one artist to another. You can line up 10 or 15 separate artists that are all excellent in their own right, give them all the same inked work, and each piece will look completely separate. So you want to remember that what I'm doing with each little finger and with the hairline is I'm drawing this line. It's closest to your eye, and you want to take your time now. You don't want to try to rush it. You do want to remember that will show in the final piece. Normally something like this kind of illustration would fall into the category of a doodle to me. This wouldn't be one for finishing. But I feel that doing stuff like this at this level is still good enough for new artists and new beginners to see the whole process from beginning to end. If you like it, I will continue this concept and in other tutorials. This is the third installment for this tutorial. If you like it, you can go back and find the other tutorial parts. They are also on my YouTube channel. This one is going to be a colored pencil piece. That seems to be my thing lately, colored pencil and ink. I should do a watercolor for everybody, just so they can see the difference. Normally, when I do watercolors, I'm not really concerned with a lot of the stuff like I'm doing right now. I would actually probably go in and do a pencil drawing and then color it before doing the ink. But you guys will have to forgive me. I'm dealing with a bad head cold. I've got one, my son has one, and my daughter has one. So if I'm coughing a little bit and snuffling on the thing a little bit, please forgive me. So we are just continuing this process of defining the areas where the light should be. It can be more complicated if you move down towards the bottom of an illustration. I have found in the past, when working on things like leaves, plants, that if I want to go in and take the time to define the light source on those things, quite often what will happen is I'll end up drawing in a way that I have to just remember to step back from the illustration. You might need to adjust what you're doing to show. To draw the shadow on a leaf that is closer to your eye level, it's not going to be drawn the same as drawing the shadow on a leaf that is down at your feet. In some cases, there may be very little shadow visible at something that's down low because you're looking to the top of it. It might have a bigger cast shadow on the ground, though. In this case, I don't know if I'm going to be doing shadows of these guys on the doors or anything, but there will be definitely some framing. We'll frame in this illustration. This will be a ink illustration, but when I'm done with drawing this in ink, I am going to go in and do the coloring in colored pencil. So I will actually be using a black oil colored pencil, Crayola brand, if you want to know. And I don't mind Crayola. There's a lot of artists out there that kind of snub their nose at cheap colored pencils, but I snub my nose at people that have to use expensive products. Having said that, I am drawing on cheap paper right now. This is not archivable paper. This is just regular old printer paper. I find that I feel a freedom when I use paper of this quality, and when I use cheaper colored colors that I don't have when I'm using my more expensive artist board.
I'm not going to give you another chance on that,
I
David.
do know the difference, though,
I
and
love
I
you
am
too
very
much,
conscious about what I'm doing. And when I'm choosing to draw something like this, I will do this illustration, these types of things on printer paper. Then just, I'll put them away, I'll save them, but they don't last. This won't look the same in 5 years.
Right.
They do yellow. They do start to bleed through colors, and then eventually they start to disintegrate. This is the oil black pencil I was telling you about, and when I do go in to start coloring, I will be using this.
Actually, put up pants. No, not now.
We're going to go ahead and remember that we're finishing the outline. So we've got this kind of outlining, which is different than the kind of outlining you saw done on his face. The separating, I mean, for light and dark. In this case, I have decided to just give a halo outline. I don't know what else to call it. There's light on each side of the pant leg, and then the center of the leg would be the darkest area. I do know that I'll be going in with that pencil later, so that will really be where I define it. We're just going to go in now with a dark black Sharpie, and we're going to start defining our door frame, where we have the light shining in to a room. You got to be very conscious of your light source. I think sometimes that's probably the more important thing. So many times artists draw an illustration, they wonder why their artwork looks so flat, and the reason why it looks flat is because you didn't have a light source. That's really the number one thing, in my opinion, that separates good art from bad art, is a unique or well-established light source. In this case, the whole picture starts to come together, I think, when we develop our light source. And it gives more of an organic shape to the illustration, more of a feeling. And art should feel. You should feel the art. If your artwork, if you're just drawing something because you're told to do it, it'll show in your work. It will. You need to sorry about my shadow on my hand there, everybody. I forgot to use a secondary light source of my own in making this video. I'm still pretty new at this stuff, so you'll have to forgive me for that. It's not, most of the time that you won't see that. I'll remember to use my light in the next tutorial, when I do on color. I'll make sure to have that fixed. I know that's probably pretty irritating to people that are actually studying this. I'm not going to use full black on the side here. I'm just going to sort of fade it in, because I know that there is going to be light in this room. Maybe a pale light, but still there will be some. So I'll probably come in here with some very light blue. Well, I mean a light dark blue, so that we can, see that. Got to get both sides of it, both sides of our door frame here. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed this illustration. If you want to see more of this type of stuff, you let me know, and I will be getting back to you on it pretty soon. And I know that this is the goal for me, is to finish entire illustrations with you, the viewer, and answer any questions you may have. I hope you enjoy it. And because I sure have, and even though I'm sick, this is one way for me to feel better. So you all just enjoy this, and sorry about that noise. That was my phone. I am using my phone to do this tutorial on. Anyway, you all have a good one, and make sure to come back to the Artist's Corner and subscribe, my friends. Please subscribe. And I will talk to you all real soon.